Doppelganger, derived from the German term double walker, pertains to a supernatural entity believed to be the ghostly twin or shadow self accompanying individuals throughout their lives. This spectral counterpart remains unseen, typically positioned behind the person and devoid of any reflection. According to lore, encountering one's doppelganger is considered ominous. Despite being mischievous and occasionally malevolent, doppelgangers refrain from revealing themselves to the acquaintances or family of their counterpart to avoid causing confusion. However, there are exceptions to this rule. Jenny, once a skeptic despite growing up in the reputedly haunted area of Bali Drive in New Manila, disregarded ghost stories and urban legends. As a successful graphic artist in her 20s, she dismissed such supernatural tales as frivolous. Her stance was clear: ignorance is bliss when it comes to ghosts, including the one supposedly resembling her in her own supposedly haunted home. "Hey Jenny, did you bring it?" Leica confronted her at the buffet table during their grandfather Joseph's birthday celebration at the big house in QC. Jenny stared at her cousin blankly. "Bring what?" she asked. "Don't you remember?" Leica persisted, a bit annoyed. "I called you yesterday to remind you about Ellie's album, the one with her debut pictures. I wanted to show Mom the gown so we could get one made for Joy. You said you'd bring it when you came over this afternoon. You called the house yesterday. What time was this?" Jenny repeated, trying to grasp the situation. "Yes," you answered. "I don't remember the exact time, but it was around lunch. I know because you were upset that I interrupted you while you were cooking carbonara," Leica explained, growing frustrated. "Leica, there was nobody at home yesterday. My parents are still in Cebu, and the maid is on vacation. I stayed over at Chris's place last night and came straight here today," Jenny clarified before turning her attention to the lechon in front of her. Leica was left speechless, her mouth hanging open in disbelief. Once, Jenny and Mimi attended a friend's party together. Upon arrival, Mimi immediately headed for the dessert spread in the dining room, while Jenny lingered behind to greet old acquaintances she hadn't seen in a while. Later, Mimi felt a tap on her shoulder and turned to find Jenny asking for a taste of the ice cream she was enjoying. "Wow, delicious. Yub is my favorite," Jenny exclaimed between bites, surprising Mimi, who noticed Jenny was now wearing a different shirt. "Oh, you changed?" Mimi asked, puzzled. "Yeah, the other shirt was too tight," Jenny replied casually before wandering off to join others on the patio. Mimi scooped more ice cream, only to feel another tap on her shoulder. "Hey, you're such a glutton, not sharing the ice cream. Give me some," Jenny teased. "You must be joking. You finished my share already." Mimi laughed. "Oh, you changed again. I thought that shirt was too tight for you," Mimi joked. "What are you talking about? This is the shirt I arrived in." "I haven't changed," Jenny clarified, confused. Jenny, meanwhile, expressed dislike for Yub ice cream and opted for lech flan instead. "But you were just here, eating my ice cream and saying Yub was your favorite," Mimi exclaimed, starting to feel uneasy. "I've been with Ben and Chester in the living room since we got here." "They can confirm it," Jenny replied firmly. "Then who finished my ice cream?" Mimi cried out, now thoroughly spooked. Jenny shrugged, and they both hurried out of the dining room together. The moment that changed Jenny's perspective, convincing her that some phenomena defy explanation occurred one early morning as she, along with her cousins Leica and Ellie, quietly returned home after a night out in Makati. It was around 4 a.m., and despite having consumed alcohol, They were still fairly composed. Quiet Jenny hushed her giggling cousins, cautioning them. "You'll wake Mama. We're in big trouble if she finds out we're getting home at 4 a.m. I promised we'd be back by 2. As the three made their way through the garden towards the front door, Jenny searched her bag for her house key, only to realize she had forgotten it. "Oh no," she whispered urgently. "I forgot my key. We'll have to ring the doorbell. Let's hope it's the maid who answers." "Go ahead, ring it," Jenny instructed Ellie, who was at the front. Just as Ellie reached for the doorbell, the door swung open. "Thank goodness. I'm so tired," Jenny said, nudging Ellie from behind. When Ellie didn't move, Jenny pushed her harder. Feeling Ellie's cold arm, Jenny looked closely at her cousin's face, half lit by the moonlight. What she saw chilled her to the bone. Ellie stood frozen, her face drained of color, eyes wide with shock and fear. She pointed silently at the door, which was ajar. Moments later, she collapsed in a faint. When Ellie regained consciousness, she found herself in the living room of Jenny's house, with all the lights on. She stuttered as she recounted the chilling moment when the door swung open. "I was just about to ring the doorbell. Like you said, Jenny. When suddenly the door opened by itself. I thought it was the maid waiting for us, so I approached. I was ready to greet whoever was there, but when I looked up, it was your face right in front of me. I don't remember much after that." The three girls exchanged a glance of sheer terror before hastily retreating to the bedroom, seeking refuge under the covers. That night marked the end of Jenny's skepticism.